Good afternoon, folks. All right, today we're getting Bluey ready for a camping trip. So what we have to do is we have to make the MC4 connectors for the solar wires that go here and come out to the side here that allow me to run this solar suitcase. There it is. Yeah, from run on a wire here out to wherever it's sunny, because I don't want to park the Vinagon in the sun. I want to put the solar panels in the sun. So that's what we're going to do right now. Okay, so ordered from Amazon the cables that I needed, 12 gauge, and then a kit for the solar connectors. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. If not, I'll go get a tripod. All right, the pulley teeth. Aha. When all else fails, bite it. All right, so pair of, this is all the connectors, and then pliers for them, and then the various crimping tools that I'll need too. So let's check this out. Also needed are wire crimping terminals, because I'm going to use these red terminal ends as pins to go directly into my solar charge controller. All right, so first things I want to do is I want to trim back, well, I can measure off a piece first, I guess. I want about arm's length, maybe a touch more. So do the same on this one. Where's the end? For some reason I couldn't get that inner coating off, so okay, that's off now. Then I want to crimp the ends, fill the, make sure it's coming out the tube. I'll actually do it once more on the angle. Yeah, that's not coming off. And I can crimp the extra off. Let's see, same for this end. Yeah. That ought to work just fine. Oh, that came off. Interesting. Well, it doesn't matter because I'm gonna coat the end too. Can never be too secure in your connections, I guess. Uh-oh, technical difficulties. I got one that's too small. All right, so that's not going to work. Cut that off. Let's find one a little bit larger to bond to it. Here we go. Is that the same size? That is. Let's do a larger red. Yeah, that fits over. Let me get a lighter. Not too bad. All right, let's see. So I know I need a larger black covering too. It looks too small. Let's go with, yeah, that ought to do. All right, not bad. And then I better go test fit these into the pin connectors before I get finished with them. Hold on just a second. Okay, so they both fit with no problem. Now for the actual connectors, because these, I'll use the entire length in Bluey until I figure out how far is enough and how far is too much. I forget what length these are. These are 50 feet, but I've taken off a foot, so 49 feet. I probably only need 30 feet. I figure that's probably far enough away to get into sunshine if I'm parked in the shade. Yeah, we'll worry about that in a minute. But I do need to get the connectors put onto these. So I'm going to go watch a YouTube video and I'll come right back. All right, so got this figured out. Really not hard, which is, 3-minute video. So obviously they come in positive and negative. They are marked negative and positive. Your positive end is your female end. Your negative is your male. Just simplified, they're both, obviously the tubes, but there's your male, negative, female, positive. And then what I need to do is strip back about maybe, I don't know, that much. We're going to see if I can get this all off this time. Yep, that all came off. Let's see if I can also do it with the black cable. Nope, got stuck with the black cable, so I have to cut that off. There we go. Twist. And I guess let's do the let's do the male end first. because I've already got that out. So inserting that, I'm going to crimp this in the middle unit, crimping tool, making sure that seat's in there correctly. Yikes, I'm all over the place. All right, so I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but we'll try this. All right, you'll see how that folded over, and that is firmly attached. Once that's attached, these come apart in 3 pieces. That's not actually coming off. That's interesting. Normally, this would be a grommet, but it is self-sealing, it looks like, which is fine by me. And so, one over the other. This should seat, maybe with a click. No, but I felt it. And then screw this end on. You hear that probably, the rubber in there. There are tools that they also give you to help make these final turns. Wow, that doesn't even fit in that tool. Okay, let's try these ones. So, that over that end, this over that end. We're just going to turn it until it is fully tight. And so that makes a watertight connection in there. And that's going to be from the charge controller sticking out for accepting the extension cord. All right, so the female end, let's see if I've got enough here. I'm going to trim a little more off. Actually, I don't know what that music is in the background. I apologize if you can hear that. It sounds like a commercial on in the other room. But at any rate, okay. More than enough. Okay. And again, we're going to do that in the middle because this is, what did I say, 12 gauge cable. Yeah, 12 gauge cable. And I think this goes 14, 12, 10. I'm going to seat that in the middle channel here. Actually, if I can get that in there, let's see. All right, so I'll hold that in place. All right, let's see here. If I can get this in without shredding the cables. It gave them a twist before, but that didn't seem to hold very well. Okay. Crap. Okay, I'm just all over the place with this. Helps if you don't have fat fingers like mine. All the way down, and that's firm. Okay, so same thing with this end. That's so interesting that is a permanent grommet on there. I like it. That's fine. Let's try this for another click and see if it seats. That is fully seated. All right, going in with it. We'll use these tools again to tighten that up all the way. Once again, fully tightened, and then of course the external cables will connect like that. And because of the rubber seal in there, you've got a permanent watertight seal. Great thing is these also act as a removal tool. So if you just press it on here, it acts as a detent tool, slides right apart. Of course, you can use your fingers too. But anyway, solar connectors. I'm going to go try and fit these in Bluey now. Okay, microphone retrieved. Trying a new setup. I've got tripod and microphones, dual microphones, so Maggie can help me. And the girls testing them out on our trip to England. In fact, that's one of the reasons we've not been on the channel for a while. Been gone a while, actually, so we've not been able to film. Apologies. All right, so let's go with negative first because it's further in the back. There we go. Just took a second. I'd rather have a snug fit. That's my opinion. All right, so, oops. One thing we know is I don't know that these are too long, but I'm gonna probably give them some grace and pin them up here. Let's see. Got some of these tidy cables. See if there's a size that works in here. How's that? Two of them. And if I crimp these up out of the way here, yeah, this ought to do okay. There. Let's see, come here, you. Again, fat fingers. And no fingernails. All right. And of course, I've not had a chance to test them out. There's no voltage coming in. But what I'm going to do now is take you back inside. We'll set up the cable lengths, and then we can test out the panel with these and see if we get any amperage. How about that? So another set of these go on these ends. All right. One female, one male. Got it. Crimper. Yeah, we'll just put this back in the toolkit. We're going to try this again. Give this guy a chance, right? It's interesting. The red comes off great. Red is female. Yep, that's good. Let's see if this is any different. So, like I said, you can pull those apart by hand. Let's see if this one comes with a separate grommet. So it does. See, the grommet comes out of here. So it goes connector, rubber grommet, and this piece will see if it clicks in place. Yep. There we go. Put that back in there. Let's see, these probably work with these tools because they came with it, right? So yeah, of course they do. There we go. That's nice. Okay. Quick and easy. Now let's see, again, let's see if this is probably just the black cable that gives me trouble. Yep, it's just the black cable that gives me trouble. So, strip this down by hand. Get that in place first. That's easier. That way now. Yep, snug. Yep, and separate grommet. There we go. That. Click in place. Yep, clicked in place. There we go. Easy peasy. Okay. So now we're going to go test these out. How about that? Come back outside with me. This is a first time pulling it out. I'm not trying to set it fully up. I just want to get some sun on it and see if we're making any power. Because I'm not even going to undo these ends. Yeah, because what I don't care about right now is whether I'm making 2 watts, 10 watts, 200 watts. I just want to see if we're making anything. So come back up here with me. Okay. And no, I wouldn't normally come through this door. Just waiting to see if I can see something here. I've got to see if I am reviewing this right. It's been forever since I purchased this EPEVERS solar charge connector, but I think, I don't know. Let me figure that out and come back. Okay, so I never finished the setup of this. I need to go to my battery and change the battery type. Just setting up to recognize the battery. It shows me getting no power from the solar charger, which is fine. I need to figure that part out. Okay, so we're showing nothing, but the sun is behind the clouds, and I don't have that set up correctly, but I thought I'd draw something into here. Yeah, it's just 0 volts right now. I guess that's quite possible. What I'll do is I'm going to call it okay and test it tomorrow because the sun's only going to go further down. So yeah, I don't know what else to do with this tonight. But this is the part I wanted to set up. I'm disappointed I'm not showing anything coming in. But yeah, the sun, I don't know if this will even show up, but the sun's behind the clouds. I mean, it's just cloudy. So, okay. Well, Not the results I wanted, but again, to be continued to let you know if this did set up okay. I'm going to wrap all this up and put it inside. Thanks. Okay, so let me show you what I've found with the multimeter. The panel, even with this dim sunlight, is getting electricity. So even across these long cables, hopefully you'll be able to see this. I'll try and do this one-handed. Let's see. So here's negative, positive. Nope, backwards. It's gone. See, never do that. So 18.8 volts is coming through these cables. I get nothing when I check these. I think I've failed to connect these properly to this. So I probably just need to move this out of the way so I can get a proper connection up in here. And I bet this is connected. So I'm going to try that. All right, let's try this. So just removing these cables. Actually, this screwdriver is too big. So I'm getting a small one. All right, much smaller screwdriver. Okay, so let's see. That's a good connection. I'm going to peel off some of this, the thermal connector. I may have too much of that on there. So I'm going to grab a razor blade and scrape that down. Nope, that came out too. So I've got either bad ends on these when I crimped them, or I just need to redo it. It's on there well though. I'm going to work on this for a second. Okay, so what I did is I took some pliers and just rounded this end. I took all of the thermal off and just rounded the end some because I had some wings sticking out. So I don't be able to get this way up in there. That sounds bad, but you know what I mean. That sounded like it made some kind of connection up in there. So let's see if I can tug this out once I tighten it down. Okay, so yeah, that came straight out. Okay, so I'm failing to make a decent connection in there. I'm gonna strip a little more wire off. Maybe it ought to be going further in there, you know? So funny because I got the battery cables in there very well. Don't have an issue with those. And they were heavier gauge wire. Okay. One more time. Undo this. And that is in there tight now, okay? So let's get it back in its holder. Now let's worry about this one. We know sort of what the issue is. Very quiet when I'm not talking. Not sure if I like that. Garbage. Garbage. How's the weather where you are? It's slightly cloudy today. Here. Poured rain earlier, which is why I got a late start in the day. All right, let's try and get this one in there now. Let's see here. That felt like something. Bear with me. Yeah, see, this feels like it's biting onto something finally. Yeah, that's in there. Okay, so now we're going to see if we get any kind of power plugging these in. Excuse my pose. Still nothing. Okay, so we check the terminals now. Nothing at these terminals again, okay? It is very overcast now, so let's once again take these off and let's check what we're getting from the panel. Nineteen amps, or volts, sorry. I mean, not much, but it's something, and that's the thing I'm not understanding. So these are very well in there now. I can't pull them out. And I'm getting nothing. I know you can't see that. Nothing. I mean, you ought to be, that little piece of wire ought to be feeding straight into there. Nothing. 12. Reload. Okay. Got any ideas? I still wonder if my connection's okay. It's Velcroed onto the wall. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try something else here. So I Velcroed everything on the wall back here just to make it easy to remove. I got that from somebody off the Samba, I think, just so you're not drilling in and, you can move things around without leaving holes. And my wife didn't like the idea of holes in her, van. So I just pulled it off the wall, and those connections are tight. I wonder if I just need to make 2 new ones, because this is interesting. Or I wonder if I switched ends. Certainly that can't make a difference. The connection, because what I'm thinking is, what if it's these connectors that are not doing a good job? I guess I could pull them out of here and check voltage here, because I know I'm getting that, that 18 or 19 volts in the wires. So if I pull them out of here and check these with them plugged in, that's got some indication. Okay, so let's do that. So oops, sorry. Sorry. All right. I'm gonna plug these in. I'm sorry. I'm over here bent over. I'm just trying to narrow this down. Okay, so keep these apart. Now, with the multimeter, whoa. Nothing. So, this cable is the problem. All right, so I'm gonna check these plugs one more time before I give up on them. So here we are again, checking these. Positive, negative, 19 volts. So, yeah, so the power's coming to here. What I need to do is I need to try and redo the connectors on these short wires all around, and then see if that works. So that's what I'm going to go do. Catch you later.